But the end goal is basically to kind of create awareness to the public on what is the social housing system it is in Malaysia. And again, if you're really interested in housing and how this kind of social system works, feel free to contact Yvonne. I've left an email. So we actually work in this thing called task cutter, where Yvonne and the team will actually kind of produce different tasks, and we could actually assign ourselves into the things that we want to work on. And from that, we use Notion. Notion is another online platform that we could work collaboratively together, and we could all like put in all of the data and stuff, so we could clean up very easily at the end for production stage. And the final thing that I've been working on is my own initiative. It's more of a design and research thing that I've created after I graduated. It's called Platform Now. Like what I said, it's research and design. So for the research part, I've created a kind of like various kind of web comic to kind of communicate it through graphical manner, like what you have seen in my childhood. I've started to use it and apply it into architecture itself. So that's the webcomic link. It's in Tapas now. It's called Eternal Loop, and we look into how repetition and overwork can kind of create this kind of world and the whole system within it. And the next thing is about design. So I've given a commission to kind of create a small little kiosk in Times Square. It's a Japanese dessert shop. And so I've done their kind of branding for their ombanyaki, their sweet potato balls, and even their cups. That's the results of it, which I'm quite happy with it. And of course, the kiosk itself, looking into how we could integrate cuteness and architecture together. And that's the results of it. Yeah, it's still in Times Square. I think it could be better, but here's a few photos of this Yakimo and the kiosk itself. And thank you. I mean, again, if you're interested in my work or have any questions to ask me at anything, you could always DM me in any of those two Instagram link. All right, questions. Guys, have any questions?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edmar, for an interesting talk. We continue our agenda for tonight with questions from audiences to be answered by Mr. Edmar.
So the first question, okay, let me search. So the first question is, based on your design, why did you choose to make most of your art is about environmental and history?
Oh well, that's a really good question for a start. So the reason why it's based on environmental is that the key driver was actually taken from the movie WALL-E. As you know, within the first part of WALL-E, the prologue itself, it shows that the Earth has become degraded, where it's all become a wasteland. And this is why the project seeks to kind of improve the environmental condition, and that's how the environmental issue comes in. For the history part, since we are architects designing for humans, and we are not like robots like WALL-E, we're humans. So this is why history and culture is really important when we are looking into building a huge master plan for a certain area. And this is why if you look into most of the comic panels, I think 60 or 70% of it are actually based on research on this kind of past events that have been through New York. Even the cats, a fun story about the cats is in New York City, if we look into any of the convenience stores, most of the convenience stores will have one cat, and that cat will have to look after the store to kind of keep away the mice and even other pests. So yeah, that's a fun fact about New York. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, so the next question is the first software that you try and what is your favorite software right now to make arts?
Or to make art, my favorite software. I would say it's still Illustrator. I'm a very big fan of Vector. Very big fan. I like clean lines, but um, to be honest, I think Photoshop has much more potential as a software itself to make art. But to me, I like lines. So I'm sticking towards Illustrator. Yeah.
So Mr. Edmund, random question. What is your future plan for now?
My future plan. Okay. Well, I'm just to be honest, I'm just going towards the flow. Currently taking my REBA Part 3, which is the equivalent to LAM Part 3 in the UK. So once I have that, let's see. I mean, gonna stay for a few more years before coming back to Malaysia for good. Gonna get more experience, make more connections, more friends. And yeah, I think future plan is quite vague, but um, that's kind of my focus now. Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Edmund, in this
In your journey,
in your journey, do you ever encounter any hardship?
or where you feel like giving up?
Yeah, I mean, um, to be honest, um, I mean, we're all architecture students. We know there are late nights. We know sometimes that tutors doesn't agree with our ideas and make us very stressed. But it always comes down into how passionate you are within this whole subject itself. It's because I can't picture myself being a doctor, or I can't picture myself being a lawyer. I mean, I've always found joy and excitement when I'm drawing something or creating something within the art. And architecture is kind of like a combination of both engineering and art, no? So I think when I've been to hardship, I've always um, looked back and say like, um, what keeps me started and what did I want to really go through in this journey. But of course, everyone will have hardship, and sometimes it's a little bad for your mental health. But a quick piece of advice is always have a really good friend within your class itself. I mean, if you have this friend, you could always share your troubles um, while you're feeling down. Again, it really helps a lot with your health mentally. And if you're feeling really bad, feel free to kind of go for any therapy. But yeah, yeah, I'm getting a bit off sidetrack here. But um, again, if you're really feeling down, just think about why you have chosen architecture at the very first place. Again, it's okay to kind of quit architecture halfway. There are a lot of amazing people that have studied architecture in their undergrad and left, and that's amazing stuff. So don't be afraid to quit this industry, or if you feel like you don't belong there. But again, encouragement from your friends and family are really important to kind of keep your journey going. Yeah.
Okay, so another question. Since you've been to a lot of concerts, you're amazed by the architectural style or the environment.
Right. I've actually never been to a lot of countries, to be honest. I don't know if you know the term otaku, but I'm one of them. Like they stay at home watching anime and stuff. But been to a few countries in Europe, within Asia itself. I think the ones that I miss most is, let me think. Well, it's actually it's still in the UK. It is this city called Edinburgh. I mean, the whole city itself, this feels nice. Even the town planning, how you have different nodes in the area. If you have read Kevin Lynch, the book itself, you could see that the city actually applies all of these 5 points that he have illustrated. But I think Edinburgh is one of my favorite city, I would say. It's very romantic as well, especially during Christmas. Yeah, and they have really nice Christmas market. Yeah.
Okay, so next, this is not a question, more like, what is your advice to architecture students?
Genuine.
Nice. Right. I mean, are most of your like undergrad, right? If I'm not mistaken. All right. Sorry, are you guys undergrads or?
Sorry, pardon me?
Are you guys like undergraduate, as in like part ones, right?
Yes, we are in part 1.
Right. Okay.
This year.
Right. So a quick advice is that after part one, during the break, I would advise you to kind of do some really fun competitions with you and your friends, or just start something new. Um, and throughout doing little competitions online. I mean, there are loads and loads of free competitions online. Just go search architecture competitions, just join one of them. I think it will help you to develop the way you think, and it might help you to find your own manifesto. Well, that's towards the architecture part. And second advice is to really look at more things, go out, go to places. I mean, it's during the pandemic, so stay home. But I mean, if you have a chance to, go out and look at more stuff, travel more, read more, and I think most importantly, make more friends. Yeah. I hope it's a good advice. I don't know, but that would be the advice for me when
It is
when I'm back in part one. Yeah.
it's actually
Yeah.
quite early, so
Yeah.
we are actually trying to searching for more
Mm.
questions from audiences. So
No, don't worry. Yeah. Guys, if any questions, just feel free to ask me. Don't be shy. I mean, I can answer any question. Yeah.
so if the audiences have any question, you may ask Mr. Edmund straight. Wanna be- So seems like okay. Arif Hakimi have a question.
Oh my God, Arif. Hi, Arif. How are you doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask the same question. Like, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. I mean, it's kind of like towards the end of December now, heading towards Christmas, the holidays. So yeah, doing really good. How are you, Arif?
Hi man, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm in my
Yeah.
final year right now, though. I feel it's
Yeah,
been
how
quite
is it?
some time since I talked to you. I've noticed a few of I think Nick and them all were like gathering. I thought you were with them, but
No,
I
I
figured
came back.
you haven't come back to Malaysia. Alright.
Yeah, I was in Malaysia actually. I was in
Yeah,
Malaysia.
I saw you. I saw you. You were, you
Yeah,
were, you were with some friends. I think you went to Thailand, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
How was it? How was it? Was it fun?
Yeah, well, it was fun. I actually went back to Malaysia just to meet my family and my husky, to see how they were doing, and then again meet a bit of friends, and then I went to Thailand just to kind of chill out before the holidays. But yeah, well,
Are
everything
you
is good.
wait?
Yeah.
Are you coming back to Malaysia to like celebrate Christmas with your family or?
Nah.
No.
I
Okay.
think
Oh, man.
I think the next time that I'm coming back to Malaysia will be probably next year.
I see.
Yeah.
Coming back permanently or what? No.
Uh, Not really permanently. I think I might stay in UK for 1 or 2 more years just to get a bit more experience. Yeah.
All right. Take care and have fun.
How's the final year, man? How's it going? All good?
Oh god, I have no idea how to say it, but
Yeah.
it's okay, I guess it's fine. For I'm in my like first semester of my final year, so I have like 2 semesters. So basically for this semester I have to do an apartment, an
Yep.
eight-story apartment. It's not that bad. It's okay, I guess, but I mean, when you get your tutors like a bit strict with the bylaws and whatsoever, it gets a bit slightly gets a bit
Um,
difficult, to do some
yeah, the
exploration.
bylaw.
But yeah, I mean, and when you don't get to explore, you actually learn something else, and you get to learn how to stick with the laws, and you get to explore within the laws. It's okay. It's quite difficult, lah.
I mean, since everyone here is your classmate, like you guys must have known that Arif got a really good hand drawing skill. Like I think his hand drawing skill is one of the best I've ever seen so far. Anyways, sidetrack. Yeah.
What? Wait, what? Who? I'm sorry.
You know, I was just saying that you have really good hand drawing skills. Yeah.
Oh God, no. I haven't hand drawn things for in so long. Yeah.
Oh, by the
I
way,
just lost
what
that.
does by the way, what does Meraki mean anyway? Yeah. Is there a reason why you guys chose Meraki?
Actually, yes, we are Meraki. Okay, actually, Meraki is what we call it. Meraki is a creative word, but it's from D. Meraki is from Greek word. So
Greek
since
word. Yeah.
we really like architecture and Greek is actually a bit it does have a connection. So we take Meraki as our name to mean creative
Right.
and passionate. Okay, like how doing something with soul and so I think
Right.
that's
Okay.
what we're doing, I guess.
Okay. Because I never heard of the word Meraki before. I was quite curious about it. Yeah. I think that's a very good name with this kind of whole backstory behind it. Yeah.
Actually, I have my own question. So since
Yeah.
I've saw all of your work, actually I
Mm.
know that it's quite hard to find a satisfaction in some work. So do you have your favorite work that you are a bit satisfied with it?
Okay. My favorite word.
Yes.
Um. Let me think. I think all of my projects are really dear to me. I mean, for me, I've never. I mean, for every project that I've done, I've always put like 100% to it. But I think my favorite one so far will be the webcomic series that I've done. I think because that's more towards my own manifest, because I'm the one that created my own brief, and I'm the one that created the whole like world building progress. So yeah, I think that's kind of my favorite project currently. If I have to put it that way. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Edmund, this is a question from our lecturer, Encik Ais.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Encik Ais, as in my practice at Malaysia, we are facing cost constraint issues when designing and expressing our art in architecture, like very conceptual or unique design. Does it also happen in the UK?
Yes.
You can.
Oh, okay. This is from us D, right? She's your lecturer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I mean, I've worked in mostly corporate firms, but to my surprise, in KPF itself, they're actually quite open into conceptual and unique designs, as they really want to push the boundary towards technology, whether if it's fabrication or whether if it's design. So I think, um, to be honest, I mean, not me, but I think the firm itself have never really looked into this kind of constraint issue when it comes to expressing art and architecture. Um, yeah, I've worked in some Malaysian firms. I think some again, it depends on the people that are really overseeing the project itself. Um, some architects really appreciate the art that is being introduced into a project. Um, or even like a really ambitious concept, they are really open up to it. And some are not. So again, it really depends on the people. And of course, the client must be part of the design as well. I really hope that answers your question. But yeah, this is what I've experienced both in the UK and Malaysia. Mhm. I hope that answers your question, Ashley. Arif, okay. And when I have another question, tell us about Yakimo, please. Well, Yakimo is actually a Japanese dessert shop. So okay, the whole backstory is quite funny. Let me quickly show my slides so you could take a look at it. So basically, so this one day, my friend like gave me a call after I graduated. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start opening a store, Japanese dessert, selling like sweet potato balls and like and I want the team to be a little bit cute and bold."